it's interesting. We you mentioned Africa for the Africans, and then you mentioned the Chinese and the Europeans. So, again, that to me, that's the big question: is what are we going to do? What's our plan?
I'll say.
Okay.
All right.
Greetings, everyone. This is Bomani Taimba.
Greetings, brother. What's up? How you doing?
Greetings, everyone. I'm doing well. I had a short technical difficulties, but I'm ready to present and connect and talk with everybody about Africa Tourism Investment Operation.
Okay. Glad to have you on. This is Brother Mambera.
Greetings, Mambera. Long time. How's things going there in Detroit?
Going well. Yeah. So okay. So let's kick it off. So Sally, if you want to do the introduction, and then we can have Brother Bomani go ahead and start for the rest of the people on the call. If you haven't been to Africa for the Africans, is it .org or .com?
Yes, it's .org. All of our tour documentation is on our website at africafortheafricans.org, and all of the videos are on youtube.com/Bomani2007.
Okay, great. You just want to go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself, and then go ahead with your presentation.
Perfect. Yes, greetings, everyone. Bomani Tamba here. And let's give you just a quick background about myself. Born in Kingston, Jamaica in October of 1977. My family moved to Brooklyn, New York in December of 1988. And while I was there in New York City in high school, I studied electrical installation and practice, and that just brought me to the world of this technology, electronics, and that world. I also just active person, ran track and played soccer for 4 years. And after that, I joined the U.S. Navy. I was there for over 4 years. Studied aircraft technical operations or aircraft maintenance technician work. From there, I was stationed in Virginia the whole time. And from there, I moved to Atlanta and worked with airlines, primarily Delta Airlines, as a FAA certified aircraft and power plant technician. And while here in Atlanta in the early 2000s, I started connecting with the African roots and culture and joining study groups and connecting with people who are just into the world of African consciousness. And from there, just developed the energy in 2004 to start traveling to African continent. So I started traveling to the African continent. First trip was March of 2004, which is Senegal and Egypt. Also there in 2004, a tour joined did by Dr. Ranoka Rashidi. So the early stages of this, looking to just learn more about roots and culture. In 2005, went to Senegal, South Africa, and also Kenya. And 2006, that's when I started just looking to build energy to get more and more people to come and travel and connect with us to Africa. I went to the Gambia, very incredible tropical place, and then started building an operation around December 2006, our first tour to Ghana, and started operation of business called Africa for the Africans, LLC, in October of 2006. And from there, we just started building an annual tour every October. That's when we started getting big groups. It was 42 of us, and then October 2008, it was 33 of us. But most of the groups from there on, the 12 groups that we have all together, the smallest group has been 8, 9, and the largest group, 38, 42. We usually strive to take a group of between 20 to 40 people on a historical reconnection primarily around Ghana. And that tour is to reconnect us to our roots, our culture, and also link us with our business investment opportunities, and link us into a world of what we call repatriation. Being energy that want to live and do business in the land of your ancestors, and take it beyond just touring and visiting, and also seeing if there's a future there. So my goal has always been to present the information via pictures, videos, text documentation on the website, and this audio communication on how to get ready, prepare, be clear on what to expect, to make the best out of your journey, your reconnection journey. So we treat it as a special operation. We have the death march or the long march to where our ancestors took their last bath, a sin man. So, and just building a full program that will complement us as Africans in the diaspora who wants to return to one of the best countries for repatriation, best countries to visit and to learn about what happened to our stolen African ancestors, and from as far as we can take the tour to based on driving around the country and reconnect us to actual locations of the crime scene, or the actual locations of where things happen. And mixed with that, you have shopping, nightlife, networking. We talk about the business and investment. So we have this laid out in a 13-day tour around 4 regions. And the highlight is Techiman in the Branghafa region, which is not a popular part of Ghana. Most people, we hear about Accra, Cape Coast, and Elmina, which we all go to. But Techiman in the Branghafa region represents a region that's very agricultural based and very cultural as far as in its culture. And it's not a lot of, it's a very small town. So for ourselves, it's a perfect location to get those who may be interested in living and doing business there somewhere of a further option. You can always get the people of Repatriation, many of them live around the 3 other regions or cities that I mentioned. But the goal of this acquiring land further out and getting a better deal, and also getting something more agricultural based or more sustainable is ideal. It opens up a world of building communities for our people who look to repatriate. It's a whole process to being just indoctrinated here in America, and then having to be clear on so many things to be stable and build a future in Africa. So I've been going to Ghana for 10 years, from 2006 to now 2017, 12 journeys. And all the knowledge and information I've acquired, I've documented as much of it and shared it on a YouTube page, and also shared it in interviews and conference call presentations to get our group ready. And just always open to connect the information and whatever I can share with that will help the process to clear up the world of repatriation, investment, and tours in Africa, primarily Ghana. So, family, that's my base introduction.
Okay. Did you have anything else you wanted to present, or do you want to just go straight into Q&A? Or
we can go into certain dialogues. I have a full presentation of things I can talk about and bore everybody, but I just want to hear what people think about the world that we've committed our life to, and to want to find out what people really want to know on that whole process, because it's a process I've documented from just getting ready here in America, and actually just being on the ground and connecting with the people who are looking to build. The people who have been living and doing business there from a few years to anywhere from 20 to 30 years.
Hey, brother, you're not going to bore us if you do a presentation, present your material. I'm sure we won't be bored. I say, yeah. I think we all want to learn.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me let's go through a few details about the name Africa for the Africans, taken by words spoken by the Honorable Marcus Garvey over 90 years, who taught us African people all over the diaspora are one people, and that the continent of Africa belongs to us. Our mission is to reconnect our people with the motherland, Africa. Our main tool to accomplish this is through tours. So that's where the base of what we built with the tours. and that's and what I talk about and share. I'm a person who believes in visual documentation, so I just have it documented there on the website about us. But we see Africa as the only viable option for the future survival of African people. And it's one of those things where other people may see other options of things here in America. But the presentation of what I have and the research and the work is just basically showing us that it's best for us to build something for ourselves and build something very sustainable and reconnect back to some of the incredible ways of our ancestors and share some of the knowledge and technical skills and certain things that we have with some of our brothers and sisters and connect with those who have other skills during the African continent. Right, and so what I want to talk about is the tour package that we have and then lead into the investment conference. So the tours that we do are it kind of, I guess, rotate with the times. But primarily I was doing tours every October to Ghana from 2007 to October 2016. And this year I was able to successfully get a full group of people, 26 of us, to join us on a 13-day tour to Ghana, the tour that we like the best. We spent the first 3 days in Accra, in 2 days in Techiman in the Brahmafo region, in 2 days in Kumasi in the Ashanti region, and then 3 days in Cape Coast. And follow me on the information. While you're on the website, you'll see the relative tours that we have coming up: Ghana, May 2018, then Ethiopia and Tanzania, November 2018, and then I'm working on this adding the July 2018 to Brazil. So those are the 3 countries that I'm looking to go to that I just went to recently and did 4K documentation and full resolution photos and videos of all 3 tours. And that's always my goal, to share with everyone what you're going to experience on the tour and what the tour is about. That way you can kind of get clarity of what your money is being put towards. So the tours that we have, they cover your flights from the U.S., and we do our best to get everybody connection flights from wherever they are to connect to the main city to get to Ghana. So we usually have Amsterdam as our connection route to get to Ghana. And the tour package that we have, we push full energy of morning exercise and meditation. Since we usually have a full group of people, we usually find a volunteer or 2, or we usually have someone on staff that lead morning exercise and meditation. The tours include daily continental breakfast and gourmet dinner, which is in buffet style based on what everybody's diet is. Naming ceremony, ancestral celebration, hotel accommodation, double occupancy, and repatriation investment conference, which in the May tour we do it twice, one at the beginning and one at the end. And entrance and access to all sites and activities. So what we offer everyone is just a full package, and the goal is to help take care as much as possible. And one of the most important things is the visa. And in Ghana, you can do it. You have an option for a single entry visa, just one-time entrance into Ghana, and that's good for 3 months. Or you can apply for a multiple entry visa, which is good for 1 to 5 years. And the process of the visa it's many details in this whole thing, so I'm going to do my best just to summarize everything, and that way it's not long on. But and that's why we have the website and conference call set up. So as we build our interest in coming, we're constantly dialoguing with everyone on all of the updates and going through details and answering questions. And we usually do that just once a month, but it's something we just go into full details. And we also just try our best to document everything and share. And it's one of those things where these details for repatriation and investment or living and doing business in Africa, or even traveling in Africa, it's not like laid out clear for any of us. So, the fact that we have that interest is incredible. And for someone like myself, that can assist in that way, that's what we have everything laid out for. So as we talk about go through the tour package, Some of the key locations that stand out when I talk about the Roots Culture Investment Nightlife Shopping Network is some of the adventure things that we have on the tour itself. So if people are into nature, we go to a monkey sanctuary waterfall right there in the Braunhofer region. Also, we do have a nice day that we enjoy an afternoon at the beach. So it's mixed in with the 13 days that you're traveling. We have a full laid out tour itinerary that's set for everyone to just get a feel of everything in the fullness. And also we have this nice local black-owned hotels around the 4 different regions, and the highlight is One Africa, the resort owned by Imicus, and that's always towards the end of the itinerary, right before we go back to Accra and get on our flight on our way to on our return. And talking about return, one of the things that also reach out and try to push as much as possible for those who want to stay longer. We have a lot of friends and connections and people did have Repatriate that are always open to taking people in and connecting with people as far as if you're looking to get another experience like the underground feel after the tour. So it's it's more than a tour. We also just accommodate and connect people in the highest level of this networking, especially for those who are looking to just take it to the next level as far as this. Say, this is what I'm looking to do. And then that's our base mission is to support repatriation. And the tours is just a foundation to this open people interest and connect people to all of the actual tangible elements and the full clarity. All right, let me skip to doing business. The preparation on doing business, we just try to just explain to everyone that Ghana is what it is. It's a developing nation. The purpose of people like myself going there is to be a part of the future growth, and also to learn more of our cultural ways, to have better family structure, and also to be a part of actual nation and a culture versus being in an environment where all you are is just a consumer to society, or you're just a slave to society, or a combination of both. And so it's for the ideology of people who realize that this slave society is not what they're looking for, and they realize that majority of people are bought into it, but it's what it is. It's never going to it's not. We don't need the majority of people to join for repatriation, but many of us can also connect and play instrumental role in the whole movement itself. There's many business and things that need to be connected with those of us in the African continent and the African diaspora. So just the open mind of just understanding that whole situation, that we as a people are everywhere, and that even if I can't fully just make this commitment to live and do business in Africa, I can be in the diaspora and doing meaningful things and connecting. And like myself, I've not been able to move there for many reasons. But the number one reason is you have to have a solid game plan to make sure that your business and all the things are intact to keep you rolling. You never want to just move based on emotions and things that you need to have in place and not set up. So some of us is going to take a little bit more longer than others. Some people will take a few months, some people a few years, some people a few decades. But the preparation is the main important, and that's what I always focus and stress on. So individuals coming on a journey like this, you experience everything in its fullness, and that experience will give you clarity of the next moves and the next moves. But we're here to connect people from the beginning to the end. One of the things that I recommend on building is a cooperative enterprise, and it's more like several people coming together, and just like this group, and you're putting your resources together, and you're acquiring land together. You're building structures where you can share everything, just like a small community, and you're assisting each other in different business ventures. And example, we have a property and 5 people. 2 people need to go back to the U.S., then 3 people can stay and keep the operation going. It's one of the things I always just recommend if anyone have any kind of serious business that they're doing there in a country like Ghana, that for them to, if they want their business to survive, they need to leave their duplicate there, or people who have their same minds of everything. Other than that, you just can't just leave anyone, to run your operation, especially anyone locally that you may not be clear on what your mindset or what you're doing. Some of us might be doing certain kind of business that, you're the only type of person that knows how to keep this thing going every day, and just like if you were just to even be here in the U.S., you just can't just leave everybody in charge of the operation. So you have to really just use that same street sense and energy there in Ghana. Also, people are very friendly, very cultural. It's incredible and absolutely peaceful. One of the most peaceful countries I've ever been, and this lack of unnecessary drama, no civil unrest. But people are going to be people. So when it comes to money and business, I always tell people to be clear on everything and make sure that you cover yourself. And that's one of the things legally we do our best to make sure that we have lawyers and consultants around doing business and investment conference to push the reality of just being clear on have everything clear to do business, and making sure that you have a few people there that you can connect with to run any ideas by or run anything by, versus just going ahead and giving large sums of money to certain people and doing certain things. Mistakes that many people have made over and over and over. So that's one of the things we're trying to help people with, versus people who just like to just make bad comments and videos on Facebook and say that somebody robbed me in Ghana, or I'm running into one person there is dishonest. Many times, based on my research before I even started going, that people ran into problems is because, number one, they weren't clear and weren't prepared, and they did not do many of their field research on things, and then they didn't use the same practical common sense that they would have used if they were dealing with someone in the country that they came from, or the U.S. Yeah. So there's always stressing that we do that. So those things are all tied. Everything I'm talking about is all tied into our tours as a way to lay everything out in a 2-week experience. And one of the biggest energy has come from Kwame Nkrumah. And the first full tour day, we go to Nkrumah Memorial Park. And the energy of Nkrumah, I think, has really just started picking up. I don't think it was always there because of, once you get defeated in a coup, the party that takes over usually destroys your reputation and undermines you to the highest level. So the survival energy of Kwame Nkrumah has been a lot of the energy from the African diaspora, based on the work that we know he has done. And in modern day time, Ghana the country itself is picking up. But the most incredible thing is this incredible Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, a favorite site there in the country, a site definitely designed for a legend, and someone who's been instrumental in the movement of repatriation, someone who lived here in the U.S. and studied the works of Garvey and Malcolm, and been in that energy in the 1940s and 50s in the U.S. when things are just really going down, and brought a certain inspirational energy to his country in the 1950s and led his country to independence. And it's work like that we just respect and love, and he also reached out on the foundation of reach out to our people in African diaspora and offered land and opportunities to return to the land of their ancestors, same as his counterpart Haile Selassie in Ethiopia. And so those are the two main countries we really focus on, African country, because we're dealing with a mode of repatriation and investment, and the foundation of those countries a few decades ago laid it out and explained the importance of the African diaspora returning home to the land of their ancestors to connect with Africans on the continent, so we can build an Africa for the Africans and make and have our place in this world just like everybody else. So that's all our journey is dedicated to, is the continuation of works of our brothers and sisters who have who have been fighting to get us back to where we belong in our rightful continent, where we see just a lot of invaders and other people just looking to invest and taking more seriousness than us. So it's up to people like myself and other people to showcase and market and share the details at the highest level and connect us, especially the ones of us that are open for those connections of repatriation investments in Africa. But also, Kwame Nkrumah mentioned that we need everything in the African continent: engineers, doctors, lawyers, teachers. I note that a lot of the professionals in the individual African countries, some of the best people are here in the diaspora. They're in the European countries, and they're here in different parts of America. And that is just a straight brain drain, and so that that keeps the balance even more off. So you're looking at over a 700-year period where the best minds out of the African continent have been taken away. So the program circumvent to reconnect some of the best minds to be there on the continent, especially in a country like Ghana, where you can just start doing certain things. And the goal is always just to expand and build energy in more and more countries. But it's only so many countries you can realistically deal with and build with, especially when our budget is set for where it's just we're just using our resources and certain things that we can connect with people, and we don't have the big money folks just dropping millions of dollars and saying build this project, it's going to help your people. So we just have to keep doing things smart, and it takes time, and the more of us connect into these things, the better we can grow the certain infrastructure that we need on the African continent and be able to own and have and be able to use the resources to keep developing and building. So the top opportunities is many things, but it's realistically real estate. You acquire land and you build your small corporate building, you build all the lodging, the restaurant, you build all the things that you need on that land, and you have your section for farming, and you just run all of your operation from there, and you connect with other people in your community. If you need to build a community hospital, you build that, and any small level of business or things you need. And that's why the most important thing is to build in a small town or area where it's not highly populated. That way you can be a part of that future. You can connect with the chiefs or the people who run that community, and you can connect with them and let them know you want to be a part of the future and contribute, and you want to connect. So it's that kind of operation ultimately. But spices, wood carving, consultation, information technology operation, fitness center, things, or even on a bigger level, power plant or internet-based operation where you can use satellite systems to provide certain things, or unique ways of doing water system treatment, and so on. It's like anything that you can think of that America has used, or anywhere else that a developing country would use, but more in a sustainable way. Those are your opportunities. And going around the country, you really see the different things. But the three region is just, you have to realize that when you acquire land in the three regions, you're looking at anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000 for a quarter of an acre. When it comes into the center of the country, it's more like $500 to $1,000 for a quarter of an acre, or what we call a plot. But also the busyness and the congestion is there in those cities, and that's what you look to. Not so much Cape Coast and Elmina, but definitely Kumasi and Accra. So, so also you have to add the strategic operation, and also note that when you move into a small town, that you're not just going to be able to be in a business environment where you just have all kind of clientele. So a lot of the things that we can do is just internet-based, or we can connect to a way where we can still do whatever business that we have established here, especially if you have a real estate business and property, and you have it being managed by a property manager, and they have to pay you a certain amount of money every month and things like that. Those are great business or retirements that you can transfer over, but the opportunity opens up with full clarity of this, what you can do in a country like Ghana, especially when you put it in perspective. Some people like someone from Ghana that's looking to leave may look at it as a poor, hard, broken country where there's not enough jobs for their citizens. Because people might be saying, why would you go to this country? And these are my reasons, and these are the things that we can do together. And these are the opportunities that we've been presenting on our tours to this share as far as repatriation, investment, and this general living and doing business. And as I close to the end, what I want to share, and which really give the most direct sight of anything we do. Number one, again, is the website, africafortheafricans.org. And once you go to the website, what you see is a main menu of this, a list of different tours for this year and next year. And majority of tours are past. Just came back from May tour in Ethiopia, and a separate May tour to Ghana, and then July tour to Brazil. Now in November we do Ghana, Togo, Benin, which is a rare 3 combination because it's 3 visas, and it's the itinerary is long. It's a lot of moving, but it's one of our biggest anticipated journey. And from there we'll have Ghana May 2018. Brazil, July 2018, and then Ethiopia with optional Tanzania for November of 2018. So those details are directly on the website, africafortheafricans.org. And the next location where you find a lot of our documentation is our Facebook page, facebook.com/Bomani. And what you have to do is just go to photos and then go to albums. And then once you click on albums, you'll see every single tour that we've done since 2006, December, and it will just have photo gallery highlights of the entire tour, just to give you just a visual perspective. And next level of documentation is just YouTube videos. The page is youtube.com/Bomani2007. And as soon as you go to the YouTube page, what you'll find is this a list of uploads that will just take you back in time. It's over, give you a more accurate account, it's almost 1,000 videos. And by the time I finish adding the rest of the Ghana tour, it'll be over 1,000. But to make it simple and make it easier to navigate through, because you'll pick up anything in the search engine. What I have is just a list of playlists. You can, while you're on the page, you can click on playlists and you'll see all the playlists in general. But what you see immediately is just the first 10 lists. So you scroll down, you see Brazil African Roots Tour, July 2017, and all of the video. And that's all the videos. Once you click on that link, Ethiopia Tour, May 2017, and then the Best of Ghana Tour, May 2017. So those are just all of the tour videos, and we're just shooting highlights, usually sometimes in anywhere from 3 to 10 minute clips, sometimes a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. But the rest of the documentation is conference calls and interviews, repatriation investment, tour members' feedback, Ghana school supplies and donations, African diaspora sustainable repatriation communities, and this is literally just a list of all of the videos dealing with the repatriation communities, and also this certain dialogue and conference video with our sister Nunet, who is the person that's been reaching out to us since 2012 to come up to that region. We finally went there in 2012. But our village is called Benu Village. And that's the highlight in Techiman. We go to that village, and we, as far as our business, Africa for Africans, our repatriation community that we're building, they have the 2.25 acre of land right by her, so we'll be neighbors. And the goal is to build this community to where we can acquire larger sums of land and just be able to just duplicate that effort on a bigger community level, to where we can reach out to our brothers and sisters in African diaspora and see if they want to take part of an opportunity to live in a very clean environment as far as the air, as far as the ground, and it being this nice and tropical, and also this elevated a little bit out, about 5-10 minutes away from the town, to where you're in more like a nice rural country environment, but you're not too far from from town, and where you'd be able to just have your own fresh, clean water that you're drinking instead of drinking toilet water from the system. And also you'd be a part of a system to where we have a satellite system and also a community grid. So we'll work out a lot of things based on whatever the community charges to take care of everything as far as maintenance and utilities and things like that. So looking to build an incredible operation where it's just self-sufficient and where it's more communal, and where it's just based on people who have similar mindsets of understanding what this is all about. And further down, I have another playlist, African Holocaust Dungeons, and that'll be the last one you'll see on the page, and that shows us a lot of the videos that we have in Elmina and Cape Coast Holocaust Dungeons there in Ghana, and it's just based on the different tours that we have. So it's the list along with it just give you a feel of just being there on the site. So those, so this YouTube collection of videos has been, something that put serious work into, and really feel that it gives you a better feel having the clips and the highlights of the different countries and give you clarity. So that's what we continue to do, is just document a lot of things and full journey and experience, and share with anyone that's open to it. So if you have any questions, let me know, and I can just answer it and go through anything in further details.
All right, brother. Thank you for the information.
Yes, absolutely. I appreciate it, Brandon.
Yeah. I have a question. I know something. Thanks for the presentation, brother. It was very powerful and interesting, and brings to mind a lot of questions. The land, you mentioned buying land. Now I know it's what I had heard or read in the past. It's kind of and you could correct me on this. I thought that in most African countries you can't actually buy the land the way that we do over here, or we may need to have a partnership with somebody who's a citizen of Ghana, or how do we go about buying land when we're not citizens?
Yes, I can clear the terminology.
Okay.
I use the word acquire land, and it's a land lease, 50 years. Used to be 99 years, but it's just a renewal lease of the land, so no one owns the land of their ancestors, especially any foreigners. So to acquire land, example, what was made it simple in Benue village, which is the village that Sister Nunet operates and is offering a plot of land, is once you go there and you check the land out, or you're clear on what you want to build and you have your building plans and certain things in place, you give her the $500 and she give you all of the paperwork for the land after the presentation, and then you can start building on the land. They'll get the land clear and you start building on the land, and even before that you'll explain the maintenance fees and certain other things in details, which I've done my best to just kind of record her in conversation while she explains the land. And so with that situation it's a lot easier. If you're just generally going there in Ghana and then you had to trust somebody that you didn't know, or try to do a lot of research, it would take a little more time. And we always recommend that you get a lawyer. In this situation where we have associates own the land, we represent you as our, we assist you in the highest level to just connect you with the right people. And we keep an inner circle of people who are serious about business. We don't keep people around that are dishonest, because it messes all of us up if anyone does anything. So, and that's ours. And then we have 1 or 2 lawyers, and you'll see their presentations also on the Repatriation and Investment Conference videos. But yeah, but that's it. It's a simple process.
I have another question. Now, is it Ghana the country that's allowing us to actually have not a full citizenship, but are they allowing Africans from the diaspora to have a limited citizenship rights? Is that correct? And how do you go about taking advantage of that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. In order to be a citizen there in Ghana, you have to have a flow of about 10-year documentation of living in the country or being in and out of the country. And then there's a list of requirements that you have to get from their immigration department as far as this repatriation, as far as being a full citizen. Well, what you want to do first is you want to get a Ghana visa, multiple entry Ghana visa, and you want to start applying for citizenship once you start building that interest in the country. And your documentation of living there after several years, you can submit it to immigration to follow that process. There's about 35 elders. You have to do the same process, and during the outgoing presidency, he kind of cleared them for citizenship. So it's something that's still being worked in the law to mandate it clear that you can just apply for citizen in that way by naturalizing. So it's similar to the U.S. Policy if you're from somewhere else, except it's not. It used to be 7 years in Ghana, but 10 years is just up now. But I heard there's a petition to reduce it. But usually 5 to 7 years is what you need in any country to be a citizen at minimum if you are from somewhere else.
So this applies to anybody. So this applies for white folks and Chinese, and so there is no special consideration given to diaspora and Africans. Is that what you're saying?
Well, in the case of the outgoing president, everybody was African from the diaspora, from different parts of the Caribbean, different parts of America, and different parts of European countries. So what I'm talking about is relative really to us. I'm sure there's a policy that allows a Chinaman to become an African citizen some way, but those are not things that I know clear about, and I don't know any white or Asian people that are full-fledged citizens there in Ghana. The only people I know is our people who have repatriated. This has been the movement of our interest. However, other people's interest there in Ghana is solely, well, I can't say really solely, is mainly just more business development and tourism. And when we talk about want to build communities, it's more of us. But you do find Asian countries are offsetting their population and acquiring more land to grow agricultural, but also to build their own communities. So that's, so I guess soon you might hear those communities talk about acquiring citizenship and things like that, but it's not something I know much about.
I don't want to just keep asking questions over and over. They just keep coming to my mind.
I can answer another question, and you can let someone else ask a question.
In your travels over there, have you had some intimate conversations with Ghanaian citizens as to what is their attitude or their temperaments about outsiders coming in the country, particularly Asians and whites? What is their opinion in general, at least from the conversations that you've had about that, about the foreigners coming in, and how are they about it, and also how are they towards diaspora Africans from Jamaica, like where your folks are from, or from.
Yeah, I can answer your question. There's no problem. There's first thing you're talking about. There's mixed feelings as far as people, how I guess the people I know feel about the Asians and Europeans that are investing and doing certain business in their country. Some people are happy to see people investing and developing their country. So if we're not the ones doing it, some people are going to take that angle. However, some people really feel they'd rather see more of us than African diaspora be a part of the future, especially those who are more connected to Kwame Nkrumah or Jerry Rawlings. That was the other president that was for repatriation and reach out to people in African diaspora. For those who are just understanding of those governments and connected with them, they're definitely more open to that mindset because those governments really push the importance of our connection. So it's not, it's definitely not one-sided. But the more of us that can really go there and do honorable things and be a part of respectable reconnection, and not go there and show that we're black, white people, or show this certain attitude like we're better than our own people there. That clears the connection, and that's why I tell a group when they go to places like the dungeons and things like that, you beating up white people, or throwing white people off the bridge, or whatever you might come out of you is not going to fix anything or make us look, respectable or anything. It's a rough thing to deal with, but us, connecting and carrying ourselves in a certain way, diplomatic, respectful, and being about our business there, really, and that's why we just never have any problem in the country, and we I go through this with our groups, and it really does help with that process. So, but as far as this myself, people are open to myself because I don't come there with certain kind of attitude, and when I come there, it's all about us connecting as a people and us doing certain things, and we do more than talk that game. We just share how we are based on all the things that we have set up in the country, and even the Repatriation Investment Panel is a group of people from African diaspora and also the African continent, primarily in Ghana, that's sharing information that you need to know. So it's coming from both parties of people just for the purpose of helping us and clarifying with us. So not saying that traveling to Ghana with us is gonna answer 100% of the questions, but it takes you to a different light just coming on a journey like this, and that's why so much is put into it, because it literally answers a whole bunch of questions and really clear things up. And that's what the program is designed to do. But it really just gives you this more of that visual and more something more tangible. So what I'm doing is explaining everything the best as I can physically. But when you meet someone like Amicus, and she tells you a story how she's been there for 30 years and she just became a Ghana citizen, it just makes you want to cry. And she just see that, it's sometimes we have to just continue to be a part of this, that work to make it happen, because none of us thought that any of us would even get citizenship in a country like Ghana based on just all kind of political things and all kind of other things going on. And, that's the world that I want to connect and share with people, world of just all the possibilities of us using our energy and strength to change and bring about things that we can do, especially a reconnection with our own people. Because I'm sure some of our people have a misconception about us, and just like we have vice versa, because we're all being educated by the same people, either slave masters or colonists or colonizers. So hopefully that answers your question on that.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Have you met a lot of people that have repatriated?
Oh, man, absolutely. I've known at least 100 people who have repatriated, maybe a lot more. I made them over the period of time, because when we did on conference, a lot of our people are inviting people, and it's hard to just literally sometimes even meet everybody and just talk to everybody. But it's just every trip I meet at least 10, 15 new people, maybe more. And so it's just a world that we're connected to, where most of us know each other.
So what have you experienced? Can you share some of your experiences with them?
Yeah, I've stayed with Dr. Sharita in 2009 while I was there looking to set up some of our business things for about a month. She lived in the mountains outside of a popular location in the mountains called Abri, and it's about 45 minutes, 1 hour from Accra. And this being there, number one thing is the country. It's the same as us being on the tour, but it's just peaceful. It's very quiet, peaceful. If you see people having a disagreement, they're having a disagreement. You see them having a disagreement for 20, 30 minutes. If that disagreement happened here, somebody would have got shot or somebody would get knocked out within like a few minutes. So it shows you the humbleness of how people are willing to that people can talk to each other and have a conversation, without without having to resort to this dirty language or this physical. And the tropical atmosphere of the country, you're right in the middle of the center of the world, so you have the best weather and everything grows. So when you're there locally, spending time there, everything you get from the market, you don't, unless you need something that's cold storage, you get everything from the market. So your fruits and vegetables and everything that you can literally think about grows there in the country. So your experience from this eating real food growing from the ground is always great. But just being around people who just strive to get up every day and just do the best they can do and make things happen for themselves. And it's just something that you really have to experience. And other times I've been there, I just usually just try to make my way around different scenery and connect with different people. Just try to do a lot of networking. So I just literally just never really have any issues in the country. Just somewhere that I feel, it's one of my favorite. It is my favorite country in the world. It's one of those countries where you literally feel like everything that you want to build for your future, you can build there. It's really a pleasant experience.
Hey, great. This is Todd. Great presentation. Good to hear you're still doing wonderful things. How you doing?
I'm doing well, brother. How about yourself?
Great. My question is, I read a book, China's Second Continent, and it was about basically how the Chinese are investing in Africa and preparing for their push for the middle class and dominance of, say, trade and industry. And then I recently came across a book, The 10 Trillion Prize, by the Boston Consulting Group, that talks about the opportunity in China and in India. My question is there some type of book, scholarly paper, that does the same analysis on Africa, and particularly Ghana? I know there was a book put out some time ago. Maybe you were involved in that investments in Ghana, but that was some years ago. Do you know of any work that's current that talks about that?
No full-fledged analysis, not at all. The people I know have books like David Jor from our investment conference that talks about economic books and agricultural book, and Amicus that talks about repatriation and how the way of life is there. And I talk about a chronology of other people's experience. But yeah, no full analysis of the country.
Okay, because my assumption is, somebody probably did it already, and I was just wondering if you knew about it, and or do you know of people that's trying to put something like that together, even on the ground floor in Ghana, if there is a study or a research document that the government has put together for opportunities abroad?
There's people come in and do conference and things, and when we do our conferences,
okay,
we highlight the opportunities and things like that as much as we can. But there's always conference and things going on consistently in the country. So, there's things that just most of what we do, honestly, just we have, it's like a small group of us, and we just do what we do, and we don't really have a big outreach of things, and we don't really look at what too much of other people are doing and kind of do things unique for ourselves. So you do have a lot of big conferences going on. I'm sure you can find them on the search. People always tell me about them and things, but I don't ever attend. There's always things in like D.C. and even certain things here in Atlanta that goes, but I can't say if there's anything consistent or anything that's tangible and I hear about, but it's nothing like, I guess, tangible or direct I can give you, like a name or a company or an operation. So that's why we just do all the things that we do. me, my crew, and the people that we're connected to in Ghana, and we just try to represent as best as we can and be available and try to go through the process of it so people are clear. But yeah, some people have things where it's just about money and business. Ours is more about culture and repatriation.
Gotcha. Mm. And then is it like a website that gives you, I guess, the real day-to-day, or even a show, the day-to-day experience?
I'm just living in the country. Yeah. I mean, the Ghanaians there that have their different YouTube channels, they're going to show you more of that. People like myself, I'm going to show you what we're selling, which is the tourism, the repatriation aspect of it. But you can see different videos of people walking around markets. But that's why YouTube is unique. You just type in specifically what you're looking for. But I do my best to show as much of that as possible. But I try to show just a variety of things when I get in the country and record.
Gotcha.
Brother Bomani, I got a question. Greetings. Thank you for taking time out of your precious schedule to give us an overview of what you are African for the Africans and your work, your great work. What is it that we can do as a community to help you more in your enlightenment of our people and people who may not be able to afford the trip but would like to go?
Yeah.
And this second.
Like I said, people that might not be able to go on a journey but want to connect with us on some aspect. There's many wonderful things that they can do. They can definitely share the details with friends and family. And when we do record and share information, we do take that in consideration that some of our brothers and sisters may not be able to ever come on these journeys, but at least we can share a certain experience and keep them connected. But we do have a GoFundMe page, GoFundMe.com, Repatriation Village in Ghana. And that's the GoFundMe that we have set up to develop the land operation that we have there in Techiman in the Bronghafa region. And that is a combination of acquiring the land and getting all the things you need to put in place. So any donations to that is always helpful as we are moving forward on the process and closing out all of the payments on acquiring the land and getting the indemnification/land survey on the property. That way everything could be boarded and clear and start getting things set up. So any small amount, any large amount helps. And I can also just go into a quick overview of the Repatriation Village. Now, the Repatriation Village is really based on just really building a foundation to assist our people who want to return to the land of their ancestors in the future, maybe even 5 to 10 years from now. We're looking to set up a base where some of our closest brothers and sisters that have traveled with us over the years are going to be on that property, and they're going to be part of the administration and the operation in general of the land to be there to where we can answer all calls, all communications with anyone that have any questions as far as repatriation and how we can help them get to Ghana and get land and get their home or get their own community set up and things like that. So our goal is to be full-fledged consultants and also be able to offer people temporary work or temporary stay in certain situations or in certain connections where they want to be a part of the future of what we have there. So it also just give us a better foundation to operate from, to where we can have our own system of water, electricity, and internet via satellite, to where we can build something sustainable, to where we can duplicate the same process and offer our people from Africa. That's an incredible layout as far as how they can buy into timeshare, buy into ownership of this their own land on some of these community, in their own homes, or anything that they need us to do to help them get set up as far as business and things like that. And as we begin to set in that area, as we want to see that area as just one of the growing areas there in Ghana, and just have it built around a unique feel. And so while we're there, we have Sister Nunes from Benue Village, where we'll be connecting our minds and working together, and really how we can, like, literally, honestly, how we can really assist our people in repatriating, and because we're the ones that's always talks about how we're just modern day slaves in America, and no matter how much money you have, or no matter what your status there, that's all you are. And and as we see, we begin to live in a society where it's just more multicultural, and the more, multicultural for me always mean that we're eliminating black culture and black folks out of certain equations of their roots and know-how, and want them to just be zombies, to just be like, the same situation like in Brazil, where it's pushed to where everybody feels that they're just a Brazilian, and no matter how poor black people are, we're all one people, and things like that. And these are the foolishness that that we've already set in our mind that we don't have time to mess with. So us working together to struggle and do what we have to do to make sure that that land is clear, make sure we have things built in place, and make sure that we have all of the top quality operations to where any of our brothers and sisters, which we feel some or more people should be interested based on the way things have been going in this country since the last few years, but definitely the last few months. It's we have to realistically look at, do we have a place here as home, and not trying to be paranoid with it. But it's the purpose of this thing. We should just continue doing what Garvey talked about, based on what everyone's doing at his time when he was pushing for us to just build a future in Africa. So versus other plans that other people took, which brought us to where we are right now, to where it seems like we don't own much of the things that we need to own to really call ourselves a free or established people. So and this ultimately gives us an unbelievable access of incredible amount of land. And I'm always joking with people, if you can build your own Disney World if you don't want to keep paying Mr. Disney and his corporation all our money to go enjoy certain things. But literally, we can just build anything that we need to build in that area based on building plans. And your connection is our connection that we have there with Benue Village and other people, because we learn to become excellent at negotiating and building relationship with our people in certain government situations and chieftaincy. That way we can negotiate and communicate to acquire and build what we need to build. And everything that we build is also accessible to the community that's there. There's a community before us and one after us, and it's a local village. And that's one of the best things about when you're doing anything there in Ghana. You're always around a local community or a local village that you have to be dedicated to be a part of this, contributing and connecting with them. So as my sister Nunes said in one of our videos about repatriation, the goal and the mindset has to also be able to just help, so we're helping each other together as a people, just like we're learning from each other and we're growing from each other. So, I just want to share with people that's that kind of energy. And by natural law, many of the people who have certain mindset here won't ever get too far to even want to come and build on this community. So you're literally going to be put in a situation where you're around certain people that you want to be around. That's like when you come on a tour, people, the best thing I've heard about what people say is that they just enjoy the type of people that they're around. This is a dedication to my brothers and sisters from African diaspora, and part of what we can do.
Arshay. Well, Bomani, you mentioned a key word, build. You're building, and that has been such a very difficult hurdle for black people. We just cannot seem to get to that point where we can start building. I tell people, no matter what our problem is, build. economics, bill. Crime in the streets, bill. Your children don't have jobs, bill. And it's been such a struggle. It's not that difficult. You definitely are setting the example of someone who had a vision and carried out that vision. And anything that I can do or the group can do to support you, don't hesitate to give us a call.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. Beyond joining the tour, anything that could be contributed to GoFundMe, I can definitely do that. And hopefully everybody got the Facebook, YouTube, and the website, so you can just check out everything so you can process what we're dealing with.
Go ahead.
I'm saying I'm open for any questions because sometimes this has to process in the mindset, especially since we're talking about a complete different move from what we're taught to do in America, which is to work our way up to being a part of the future of America. And
this is Todd. Tell me about your trip to Brazil.
Yes, my trip to Brazil. I can give you a 1 minute analysis. Just like most trips are always a bittersweet trip. One of the definite highlights is just the beauty of the country. But one of the things that the highlight of the country, and also all of this the cable cars, just the architectural setup of that and how that works. Even the famous Big Jesus was just incredible. But the main thing I really connected to Brazil for was Rio and Salvador. It's historically where the majority of stolen Africans were taken from and brought to, and also they represent the first and the last of basically the beginning and the end of the first and the last country to end so-called slavery. So you have a lot of documentation there since the longest slave history. So it's all about trying to find the right people to show you, and I'm trying to find some new people to show us certain other aspects of their history. So we spent one day in Rio going to historical parts of the first and the second largest slave market with mass graves. Also went to where the ports were, learned about how the mulatto situation was created, which is one of the most unique and crazy situations. The Portuguese literally would just import more and more white men as they started to offset more and more black men, and putting in laws that African women can only achieve or have access to certain things in society if they only marry a white man. So, we forward that a few hundred years from now, and you have that same situation to where you have, where they're literally trying to make everyone more of a mixed color and wipe out the dark people. But one of the things that Brazil itself did not give up is the fact that their country is filled with more African influence than probably any other country that I've been. The drumming, the dancing, the samba, every aspect of where you see, even the museum you go, you see a whole lot of Yoruba culture. Everything is Africa. And, as racist as the country is, their big highlight that, is the African history. And that's the uniqueness of the culture. But at the same time, too, when you go to the airport, I swear, and when you go to the hotel, I almost saw, it seemed like you had to be either extremely light or white to work at those places, unless you were like a janitor or someone that did certain jobs. And it seemed like literally going back in time watching one of the 1950s movies about here in the South, in Georgia. And it's just unbelievable the type of time warp that you go through there. And in Salvador itself, that's straight little Africa. All of the culture and the highlights of there, but they have their Brazil tourism based on all of the waterfront access and beaches and everything. But yeah, it's just an incredible country to visit. We have, our tours always have the African twist to it, even if you're in a country like Brazil. So that's predominantly what was there. But we also was able to enjoy incredible beaches and your tourist site.
Excellent. So, when is the carnival for Bahia?
Yeah, you know what? Then you got me, and I don't even know. I started talking about February. People like myself stay away from those kind of large events, large carnival and soccer events. I try to go to the country when it's like lay low. We can just kind of move around and do our thing. Same as Ghana.
Okay.
I try to stay away from different celebrations and things. And the goal for that 100% is, to have a group. Some people develop itineraries around events. I do the opposite. Usually I want to have a solid group of people to be and for us to focus on a certain experience.
Are there any more questions for Brother Bomani?
Anybody have any questions about any of the tours, or anybody have any interest in any of the tours or anything that you've seen on the website?
Well, if you guys don't have any more questions, we can conclude our call. I asked Bomani for 45 minutes. He's done well over that, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming on the call.
Absolutely, but I appreciate being invited and glad to be on there and to share what I know. What I know in my experience, and always open to doing it as I learn more about that process of us doing things in Africa.
Shay. Well, we will definitely be in contact with you, my brother. I'll follow up with you a little bit later on this week regarding my contribution and what we can do as a group as well.
Absolutely. We appreciate your energy, family, and everyone take care. And if anyone have any questions or want to talk to me, you can also reach out to me directly at 404-931-9429. Email is afta2010@msn.com. And website, once again, is africafortheafricans.org. All right, family. So this is Bomani Taimba. Everyone, take care and connect back with everyone.
Shay, thank you, brother.
All right, take care.
You guys enjoy the call?
Man, immensely, bro, my brother. Immensely.
Wow.
Because it's something that if I wasn't as financially challenged as I am, I'd already been there. I think we're gonna get to the point. I think we're gonna get to the point. I really believe this, and I know most black people think I'm crazy, black Americans, but I believe it's gonna get to a point where we're gonna have to leave this country in large numbers. Maybe not all of us, but a good number of us. And honestly, my fear is I don't know that we're going to have a place to go, but we see the signs of it all around us. The whitening process that he kind of briefly touched on in Brazil, it's starting to happen here in the United States. They're promoting biracial relationships, and you can see even the people that are supposed to be the leaders of the black community in many cases, they're putting them forth as our leaders are representing the African American community. And you can see this going on, and it's subtle but not so subtle.
Right.
And
right.
And you can see like with this thing happening in Charlottesville, and they're being so bold with it. There is something going on, man, and I think there's gonna come a time when black people, black America's gonna need to lead this place. I really do. I mean, I know most people think I'm crazy when I say that. They get mad and say, "Oh, well, this is my land. Our ancestors built it." Blah 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 blah. And then you got the Moorish people that say, "Oh, we was here already," which is bullshit.
Yeah.
Not very many of us. Most of us came from Africa. So,
right.
We have to figure something out, man.
We do.
And what he's doing, he's on the cutting edge.
Right.
Hey, brother. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just piggyback on what y'all was saying. I got on the call late, man.
What's your phone?
Hey, brother. Yeah, I like what I heard though. Yeah, I agree totally with you about our situation in this nation, and I like what that brother's saying. I'm about to go to his website and stuff and do a little more research. But on my radio program yesterday, man, I was talking about Africa for the Africans, but I was using Marcus Garvey's words, and I agree wholeheartedly, man. We gonna end up having to do something, so we might well build something. I like who was talking to the brother about the word build when he used it.
That's
and,
right.
Hopefully I can get in with AIM, really, and go from there. Because I just wanted to add that, man, and I'm gonna get that brother's name and talk about him on our radio program next week when we do it. So
yeah, I can forward. Did you get his number and stuff that he gave when he gave it out?
Well, I didn't get I didn't have it on pen. I got to write the website down though.
Okay.
Well, his name's on the website. If you go to africafortheafricans.org.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
right.
I went there doing the call, and I had been there before. His name's actually on. You can actually his information's there on that site.
Mm-hmm.
If I can give it to you now, or you can get off the website.
Oh, okay, Brother Carter, I need to talk to you anyway, so I'll probably call you later on today.
Okay, brother. Yeah, I missed you yesterday. I stopped by I got a haircut. I stopped by the Africa Fest and saw Brother Brown down there.
Yeah, he told me he saw you and everything.
Yeah.
That was before the program.
Yeah, I'm going back down there today for the program on the dance program.
Yeah, for dancers. Yeah, I'm gonna be down there. I'll see you down there.
From Maryland, yes, sir.
I'll see you down there. And then they're doing that thing in Central Park today too.
What's that mean? What's that?
The jazz, the annual jazz program they do in Central Park.
Oh, the jazz yeah. I didn't even know they was doing that, brother.
Yeah, that's happening today
because I've been on the road so much, I don't know what's happening. I got one more week. Yes, sir.
I know. I like this brother here, what he's talking about, Africa for the Africans, man. If any kind of way we can tap into that, I'm all for it, man. I want to support this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be following up. And next month, I don't think I messed around. I was messing around and forgot it. I got the flyer last night. And messed around and forgot it this morning. And then all of a sudden it dawned on me that it was on. Because I could have gotten more of the program. But anyway, I'll do better.
Yeah, I agree. I want to do as much as I can to support him. He definitely has his boots on the ground.
Yeah.
And no doubt.
It's all good.
I appreciate you joining us, and I'm going to go ahead and jump off here.
All right.
And let me know how that goes with him. He's me and Todd had the opportunity to sit down and meet with him, and we just, even though I've been knowing him a short time, it seemed like I've been knowing him all my life. But thank you for joining the call. I'm going to go ahead and jump off, fellas. You guys have a good week here.
All right, brother.
I'll do the same. I got some grass to cut.
Model tip. All right.
Oh, tip.